Park. Following a verbal altercation, Benjamin Raleigh, 11, armed with a stick, struck our son Henry Novak in the face. This action resulted in, apart from the swelling of the upper lip, the breaking of 2 incisors, including injury to the nerve in the right incisor.
Armed?
Armed? You don't like armed. What shall we say, Michael? Furnished, equipped, furnished with the stick. Is that all right?
Furnished, yes.
Furnished with a stick.
Furnished. You know, the irony is, we've always regarded Cobble Hill Park as a haven of security, unlike Whitman Park.
She's right. We've always said Copper Hill Park, yes, Whitman Park, no.
Absolutely. Anyway, thank you for coming. There's nothing to be gained from getting stuck down some emotional cul-de-sac.
We should be thanking you. We should.
I don't see that any thanks are necessary. Fortunately, there is still such a thing as the art of coexistence, isn't there?
Which the children don't appear to have mastered, at least not ours.
Yes, not ours. What's going to happen to the tooth with the affected nerve?
We don't know yet. They're being cautious about the prognosis. Apparently the nerve hasn't been totally exposed.
Only a little bit's been exposed.
Yes, some of it's been exposed and some of it's still covered. That's why they haven't decided to kill the nerve just yet.
They're trying to give the tooth a chance.
Obviously, it would be best to avoid endodontic surgery.
Yes, of course.
So there will be an interim period while they give the nerve a chance to recover.
In the meantime, they'll be giving him ceramic crowns.
Obviously, that's the wrong line. Whatever happens, you can't have implants before you're 18.
No.
Permanent implants can't be fitted until you're finished growing.
Of course. I hope it all works out.
Yes, I hope so.
Those tulips are gorgeous.
They're from the little Korean deli up on South Street, you know, the one at the end.
Yes.
They come every morning direct from Holland. $40 for a bunch of 50.
Really?
You know the one at the end?
Yes, yes.
You know, Henry really didn't want to identify Benjamin.
No, he didn't.
Impressive sight, that child. Face bashed in, teeth missing, still refusing to talk.
I can imagine.
He also didn't want to identify him for fear of looking like a tattletale in front of his friends. We have to be honest, Veronica. It was nothing more than bravado.
Of course, but bravado is a kind of courage, isn't it?
That's right. So what I mean is, how did you manage to get Benjamin's name?
Well, we told Henry that he wasn't helping Benjamin by shielding him.
We said to him, if the child thinks he can keep on hitting people with impunity, why should he stop?
We said to him that if we were this kid's parents, we definitely want to be told.
Absolutely.
Yes. Excuse me. Yes, Murray, thanks for calling me back. Right. In today's Times. Here, let me read it to you. According to a paper published in The Lancet and taken up yesterday in the Financial Times, 2 Australian researchers have discovered the neurological side effects of Antril, a hyperintensive beta blocker manufactured at the Vren's Pharma laboratories. These side effects range from hearing loss to ataxia. So who the hell is your media watchdog? Yes, it's very goddamn inconvenient. No, what's most inconvenient about it, as far as I'm concerned, is the annual shareholders meeting in 2 weeks. Do you have insurance contingency to cover litigation? Okay. Oh, and Murray, ask your PR gal to find out if the story shows up anywhere else. Call me back. I'm sorry. What's the line? I'm sorry. I always trim off the end. I always forget the last thing I say.
It's just like, excuse me.
Excuse
me.
Excuse me. It's just excuse me.
Yeah, I was about to go off of sorry. I'm like, you're so...
I know, I'm sorry.
You're like,
excuse me.
Sorry, you're sorry?
Sure.
A lawyer.
Ah.
And you?
Oh, me? I have a wholesale company, household goods. Oh, and Veronica's a writer and works part-time at an art history bookshop.
A writer?
I contributed to a collection on the civilization of Sheba based on the excavations that were restarted at the end of the Ethiopian-Eritrean War. And I have a book coming out in January on the Darfur tragedy.
So you specialize in Africa?
I'm very interested in that part of the world.
Do you have any other children?
Well, Henry has a 9-year-old sister, Camille, who's furious at her father because her father got rid of the hamster.
You got rid of the hamster?
Yes, this hamster makes the most god-awful racket all night and then spends a whole day fast asleep. Henry was in a lot of pain last night, and he was being driven crazy by the noise the hamster was making. And to be honest, I've been wanting to get rid of it for a long time now. So I said to myself, okay, that's it. I took it and put it out in the street. Thought they loved gutters and drains and all that, but I guess not. Kind of just sat there paralyzed on the sidewalk. Well, they're not really domestic animals and they're not wild animals. I actually don't know where their natural habitat is. Dump them in the woods, they're probably just as unhappy. So I don't know where you're supposed to put them.
You left it outside.
He left it there and tried to convince Camille it had run away, but she wasn't having it.
Was the hamster gone this morning?
Gone, yes.
And you, what field are you in?
I'm in wealth management.
Is it at all possible, excuse me for putting it so bluntly, that Benjamin might apologize to Henry?
It'd be good if they talked.
He has to apologize, Alan. He has to say he's sorry.
Yes,
But
yes, of course.
But is he sorry?
He understands what he's done. He just doesn't understand the implications. He's 11.
Well, if you're 11, you're not a baby anymore.
You're not an adult either. We haven't offered you anything. Coffee, tea. Is there any of that cobbler left, Ronnie? It's an extraordinary cobbler.
I wouldn't mind an espresso.
Just some water.
Nope. Espresso for me too, sweetie. Oh, and bring the cobbler anyway. What I always say is we're a lump of potter's clay, and it's up to us to fashion something out of it. Maybe it won't take shape till the very end. Who knows? Oh, you have to taste this cobbler. Good cobbler is an endangered species.
You're right.
What is it you sell?
Oh, domestic hardware, locks, doorknobs, soldering irons, all sorts of household goods, saucepans, frying pans.
Money in that, is there?
Well, you know, it's never exactly been a bonanza. It was actually pretty hard when we started, but, you know, if I'm out there every day pushing my product, we survive. At least it's not seasonal like textiles, although we do sell a lot of fondue pots around Christmas time.
I'm sure.
When you saw the hamster sitting there paralyzed, why didn't you bring it back home?
Because I couldn't pick it up.
You put it on the sidewalk.
I took it out in its cage and tipped it out. You know, I don't like to touch rodents.
I don't know who put the cobbler in the fridge. Monica puts everything in the fridge. She won't be told. What's Benjamin said to you, Sugar?
No thanks. What's in the cobbler?
Apples and pears.
Apples and pears.
My own little recipe. It's gonna be too cold. It's a shame.
Apples and pears. This is the first.
Apples and pears is pretty textbook, but there is a little trick to it.
There is.
Yes, pears need to be cut thicker than apples because pears cook faster than apples.
Ah, of course.
But wait, she's not telling you the real secret.
Let them try it.
It's good. It's very good.
Tasty.
Gingerbread crumbs.
Brilliant.
Oh, to be quite honest, I got it from his mother.
Is that me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God damn it. All right. Breadcrumbs. Delicious. Well, at least this is giving us a new recipe.
I'd have preferred if it hadn't cost my son 2 teeth.
Of course, it's what I meant.
Strange way of expressing it.
Not at all. Excuse me. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm blanking on this. Yes, Murray. No, don't ask for a right of reply. You only feed the controversy. Are you insured? Okay. What are the symptoms? What is ataxia? What about on a standard dose? How long have you known about this? And all that time, you never recalled it? What's the gross?
Alan?
Got it. I see. Yes.
Alan?
Yes, yes.
Do you mind joining us?
Coming. Serge, they've known about the risks for 2 years. An internal report, but it didn't formally identify any undesirable side effects. Stability problems, impaired motor skills, stability problems. In short, you look completely retarded. They're grossing $150 million. Blanket denial. Idiot want to demand a right of reply. We certainly don't want a right of reply. On the other hand, if the story spreads, we could put out a press release, say it's disinformation leaked 2 weeks before the annual shareholders meeting. He's going to call me back. Okay. Oh, I haven't had lunch.
Oh, please, help yourself. Help yourself.
Thanks. I have no manners. Where were we?
That it would have been nicer to meet under different circumstances.
Oh, right. So the cobbler, it's your mother's.
Oh, the recipe's my mother's, but Ronnie made this one.
Your mother doesn't mix pears and apples.
Oh, no.
Oh, poor thing has to have an operation.
Really? What for?
Her knee.
They're going to insert a rotatable prosthesis made out of polyethylene metal. She's wondering what's going to be left of it when she's cremated.
Don't be horrible.
She refuses to be buried next to my father. She wants to be cremated and put in an urn next to her mother, who's all on her own in Florida. 2 urns looking out to the sea, trying to get a word in edgewise.
We're very touched by your generosity. We appreciate the fact that you're trying to calm the situation down rather than exacerbate it.
Frankly, it's the least we can do.
Oh, yes.
Not at all. How many parents standing up for their children become infantile themselves? I'm afraid if Henry had broken 2 of Benjamin's teeth, we would have been a lot more thin-skinned about the situation. I'm not sure we would have been so broad-minded.
Oh, of course you would.
She's right. Not at all certain.
Oh, yes, because we all know how easily it could have been the other way around.
So what does Benjamin think about all of this? How does he view the situation?
He's not saying much. I think he's still in shock.
He understands that he's disfigured his playmate?
No, he does not understand that he's disfigured his playmate.
Why are you saying that? Of course he understands, Alan.
He understands he's behaved like a thug. He does not understand that he's disfigured his playmate.
You don't care for the word, but the word is unfortunately accurate.
My son has not disfigured your son.
Your son has disfigured my son. Come back at 5 and have a look at his mouth and teeth.
Temporarily disfigured.
The swelling on the lip will go down, and as for the teeth, take him to the best dentist. I'm prepared to chip in.
That's what the insurance is for. What we would like is for this sort of thing to never happen again. For the boys to make up.
Let's arrange a meeting.
Oh, yeah, that's the answer.
Should we be there?
They don't need to be coached. Let them do it, man to man.
Man to man, Alan. Don't be ridiculous. Having said that, we don't necessarily have to be there, do we?
The question isn't whether we should be there or not. The question is, do they want to talk to one another? Do they want to have a discussion?
I know
Madam.
Henry wants to.
What about Benjamin?
It's no use asking his opinion.
Right.
But it has to come from him.
Madam, our son is a savage. To hope for any sort of spontaneous repentance would be fanciful.
If Benjamin is forced to meet Henry in a punitive context, I don't see that the results would be very positive.
Did I say that long in the wrong time?
I think we skipped some.
Yeah.
That's my fault. I jumped that line.
Okay. Want to go back to the top of the page? Henry
Yes,
wants to.
please.
Mhm.
I know Henry wants to.
What about Benjamin?
There's no asking his opinion.
But it has to come from him.
Benjamin has acted like a hooligan. We're not interested in what mood he's in.
If Benjamin is forced to meet Henry in a punitive context, I can't see that the results would be very positive.
Madam, our son is a savage. To hope for any kind of spontaneous repentance would be fanciful. Right, I'm sorry, I have to go back to the office. You'll stay in that, you'll tell me what you've decided. I'm no use whichever way you cut it. Women always think you need a man, you need a father, as if they'd be any help at all. Men are dead weight. They are clumsy and maladjusted.
I'm so embarrassed, but I can't stay either. My husband has never exactly been a stroller dad.
What a pity. It's lovely taking the baby for a walk, and it lasts such a short amount of time. You loved taking the children out, didn't you, Michael? You loved pushing the stroller.
Yes, I did.
So, what have we decided?
Could you come by the house with Henry, let's say 7:30?
7:30. What do you think, Michael?
Well, honestly,
Go on.
I think Benjamin ought to come here.
Yes, I agree.
I don't think it's right for the victim to go, traipsing around.
That's right.
Personally, I can't be anywhere at 7:30.
Since you have no use, Alan, we won't be needing you.
All the same, it would be best if his father were here.
All right, but it can't be this evening. Yeah? There's no mention of this in the executive report, and no risk has been formally established. There's no evidence.
Tomorrow?
I'm flying to The Hague tomorrow.
You're working in The Hague.
I have a case at the International Criminal Court.
The main thing is that the children speak to one another. I'll bring Benjamin here at 7:30 and we can leave them to have their discussion. No? You don't look very convinced.
If Benjamin is not made aware of his responsibilities, they'll just look at each other like a pair of China dogs. It'll be a catastrophe.
What do you mean? What do you mean made aware of his responsibilities?
I'm sure your son is not a savage.
Of course Benjamin isn't a savage.
Yes, he is.
Well,
Alan,
how does he explain his behavior?
No, Alan, this is absurd. Was right.
I apologize.
Alan, this is absurd. This is absurd. Why say something like this?
He's a savage.
Well, how does he explain his behavior?
He doesn't want to discuss it.
But he ought to discuss it.
He ought to do a number of things. He ought to come here. He ought to discuss it. He ought to be sorry for it. Clearly, you have parenting skills that put us to shame, and we hope to improve, but in the meantime, please bear with us.
All right, this is idiotic. Let's not end up like this.
I'm only thinking of him. I'm only thinking of Benjamin.
I got the message.
Let's just sit down for another couple of minutes.
A little more coffee?
A coffee. Okay.
And I'll have one too. Thanks.
That's all right, Ronnie. I'll do it.
I see you're a great art lover.
Art, photographs, to some extent, it's my job.
I adore bacon,
Ah, yes, bacon,
cruelty, majesty.
chaos, balance.
That's right.
Is Benjamin interested in art?
Not as much as he should be. What about your children?
We try to fill the gaps in the education system.
Yes.
We try to make them read. We take them to concerts and exhibits. We're eccentric enough to believe in the soothing powers of culture.
And you're right.
So, cobbler, is it a cake or a tart? Serious question. I was just thinking in the kitchen. Lizard tort, for example. Is that a cake? Oh, you can't leave that little slice. Come on.
Cobbler is a cake. The pastry's not rolled out. It's mixed in with the fruit.
You really are a cook.
I love it. The thing about cooking is you really have to love it. In my opinion, it's only the classic tart, that's to say on a pastry base, that deserves to be called a tart.
What about you? Do you have any other children?
A son from my first marriage.
I was wondering, not that it's all important, what started the fight? Henry won't say a single word about it.
Henry refused to let Benjamin join his gang.
Henry has a gang.
He also called Benjamin a snitch.
Did you know Henry had a gang?
No, that's terrific.
Why is it terrific?
Because I had my own gang.
Me too.
And what does that entail?
Oh, there are like 5 or 6 kids that follow you around and are ready to sacrifice themselves, like in Spartacus.
Absolutely. Like in Spartacus.
And who knows about Spartacus these days?
They use a different model. Spider-Man.
Anyway, clearly you know more than we do. Benjamin hasn't been as silent as you implied. And do we know why Henry called him a snitch? No, sorry, that is a stupid question. First of all, I couldn't care less. Also, it's besides the point.
We can't get involved in children's quarrels.
And it's none of our business.
No.
On the other hand, what is our business is what unfortunately happened. The violence, that is our business.
Oh, to become head of my own gang, I had to fight Bobby Kopecki when I was 12. One-on-one single combat, and he was bigger than me.
What are you talking about, Michael? What does that have to do with anything?
No, you're right. It's got nothing to do with this.
We're not discussing single combat. The children weren't fighting.
I know, Veronica. I suddenly had a flashback.
There's not that big a difference.
Oh, yes, there is. Excuse me, there is a very big difference.
There actually is a very big difference.
What?
Oh, well, with Bobby Kopecki, we agreed to have the fight.
Did you beat the shit out of him?
To a certain extent.
All right, can we stop talking about Bobby Kopecki? Would you allow me to speak to Benjamin?
By all means.
I wouldn't do it without your permission.
What would be more normal?
Good luck.
Stop it, Alan. I don't understand you.
Mrs. Novak.
Veronica, we don't have to be so formal.
Veronica, you are motivated by an educational impulse, which is very sympathetic.
If you don't want me to speak to him, I won't speak to him.
No, speak to him, read him the riot act, do what you like.
I don't understand why you don't seem to care about this.
Ma'am,
Veronica.
of course I care, Veronica, enormously. My son has injured another child.
On purpose.
See, that's the kind of comment that gets my back up, obviously on purpose.
But that makes all the difference.
The difference between what and what? That's why we're here, isn't it? Our son picked up a stick and hit your son. That's what we're talking about.
This is pointless.
Yeah, she's right. This kind of argument is pointless.
Why do you feel the need to slide in on purpose? What kind of message is that supposed to be sending me?
Listen, we're on a slippery slope. My husband is desperate about a lot of things. I'll bring Benjamin here at 7:30 and we can let them sort things out.
I am not in the least bit desperate.
Well, I am.
There's nothing to be desperate about.
Yes, there is.
Ring, ring, ring.
Don't make any statement.
Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry.
Ring, ring.
Don't make any statement. No comment. No, you can't take it off the market. The minute you take Antril off the market, you become responsible. No, that's not right. I'm sorry. If you take it off the market, you become responsible. The minute you take Antril off the market, you're admitting liability. There's nothing in the annual accounts if you want to get sued for falsifying the executive report and get shit canned in 2 weeks. Take it off the market.
Last year on Parents' Day, wasn't it Benjamin who was in that play?
Charlie's aunt.
Charlie's
We'll
aunt.
talk about the victims later, Murray. Let's see what the shares do after the annual meeting.
He was extraordinary.
Yes.
We're not going to take Antril off the market because a couple people are bumping into furniture. Don't make any statement for the time being. Yes, I'll call you back.
I remember him very clearly in Charlie's aunt. Do you remember him, Michael?
Oh, yeah.
He was hilarious when he was in drag.
Yes.
They're panicking. They've got the media up their ass. You have to prepare a press release. Not something defensive. Not at all. On the contrary, go out all guns blazing. You insist that Varennes Pharma is the victim of a destabilization attempt 2 weeks before its annual shareholders meeting. Where did this paper come from? Why did it fall out of the sky right now, etc.? Don't say anything about the health problems. Just ask one question. Who is behind this report? Right.
They're terrible. These pharmaceutical companies. Profit, profit, profit.
You're not supposed to be listening to my conversations.
You're not obliged to have it in front of me.
Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am absolutely obliged to have it here. Not my choice, believe me.
They dump any old crap on you without giving it a second thought.
In the therapeutic field, every risks comes with it. Every advance brings with it risks as well as benefits.
Yes, I understand that. Still all the same. Funny job you have.
Meaning?
Michael, this has nothing to do with us.
Funny job.
And what is it you do?
I have an ordinary job.
That's right, you sell doorknobs. What is an ordinary job?
Oh, I told you. I sell frying pans.
And doorknobs.
And toilet fittings. And lots of other things.
Toilet fittings. That's really interesting.
Alan.
It's really interesting. I'm interested in toilet fittings.
Well, why shouldn't you be?
How many types are there?
Oh, there's two. Gravity or pressure assist.
Yes.
It depends on the feed.
Well, of course.
Well, either the water comes up from below, above or down from below.
Oh, yes.
I could introduce you to one of our stock managers who specializes in this kind of thing. You do have to leg it out to Secaucus, though.
You seem very on top of the subject.
Are you intending on punishing Benjamin in any way? You can continue your plumbing discussion in some more appropriate setting.
I'm not feeling very well.
What's the matter?
Yes, you look very pale, sweetheart.
A little pale, certainly.
I feel nauseous.
Nauseous. I have some Pepto-Bismol.
No, it will be all right.
What could we... Coke! Coke's very good.
No, I'll be all right.
Walk around a little. Take a few steps.
Really? You think so?
Yes, small sips.
Thank you.
Give me Serge, will you please? Oh, right. Ask him to call me back. Ask him to call me back right away. Is it good, Coca-Cola? I thought it was supposed to be for diarrhea.
Not only for that. Feeling better?
All right. Veronica, if we want to reprimand our child, we'll do it in our own way, in our own setting, without to account for anybody.
Absolutely.
What do you mean, absolutely, Michael?
Well, they can do what they want with their son. It's their prerogative.
I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so, Ronnie?
I don't think it's their prerogative.
Really? Explain. I'm sorry. Excellent. But don't forget, there's nothing definite. Oh, nothing's been proved. There's nothing definite. Get this straight. If anyone fucks up, Murray is a dead man in 2 weeks, and us with him.
That's enough, Alan. That's enough. Now with the cell phone, will you pay attention to what's going on here? Shit!
Yes. Call me back and read it to me. What's the matter with you? Have you gone insane shouting like that? Serge heard everything.
Good. I'm glad. Drives me crazy, that cell phone, endlessly.
Listen, Annette, I'm already doing you a big favor by being here in the first place.
Extraordinary thing to say.
I'm gonna throw up.
No, you're not. You're not going to throw up.
Yes, I am.
Would you like to use our bathroom?
No one's forcing you to stay.
No one's forcing you to stay.
Sorry.
I'm feeling dizzy.
Stare at a fixed point. Stare at a fixed point, Woof Woof.
Go away, leave me alone.
She would be better off in the bathroom?
Go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom if you want to throw up.
Give her some Pepto-Bismol.
You don't think it could have been the cobbler?
It was made yesterday!
Don't touch me.
Calm down, Woof Woof.
Please, let's not get worked up about nothing.
According to my husband, everything to do with school, children, gardening is my department.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is, and I understand why. It's all deathly. All of it deathly.
If you think it's so deathly, why have children in the first place?
Maybe Benjamin senses your lack of interest.
What lack of interest?
You just said.
Oh!
Go get the dishpan.
Okay.
Go get
You
the
should have
dishpan.
gone to the bathroom, Woof Woof. This is ridiculous.
Oh. It looks like Sue ate most of it.
Okay, it couldn't have been the cobbler. It just couldn't have been.
It's not the cobbler. It's nerves. This is pure nerves.
Would you like to clean up in the bathroom? Oh no, my Kokoshka! Oh my god!
Give her some Pepto-Bismol.
Not now, she can't keep anything down.
Where's the restroom?
I'll show you.
It's nerves. It's a panic attack. You're a mom and that, whether you want to be or not. I understand why you feel desperate. With me, it's the cervical vertebrae. It just, seizes up.
Mm-hmm.
What are we gonna do about the Kokoshka?
Well, I would spray it with Mr. Clean. The problem is how to dry it. Or you could sponge it down with and put a bit of perfume on it.
Perfume?
Use my curls. I never wear it.
It'll warp.
We could run the hairdryer over it like they do with money and flatten it under a pile of books. Or
Oh my
iron it.
god.
I'll buy you a new one.
You can't find it. It was out of print years ago.
I'm so sorry.
We'll salvage it. Let me do it, Ronnie.
Fine. It was a reprint of the catalog from the 53 London exhibition more than 20 years ago.
Go get the hairdryer and the curls from the linen closet.
Her husband's in the restroom.
Well, he's not naked, is he? There, that's the worst of it. Looks like the people at the Tundra need a little bit more of a wipe. I'll be back. Can we pause right here? Because it
Yeah.
says this meeting's about to...
Yeah, I'm going to lose you. So just click back on.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep going.